Welcome to Sleeping with Sarah. I'm Sarah Albritton, and I'm here with my guest, Sarah Fatemi.
What's up?
How'd you sleep last night, Sarah?
Actually, very terrifying. I had a really bad nightmare.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's like right off the bat, I nailed it on the terrifying part.
Oh, yeah. I think it was, I took an edible before I went to sleep, and they're high CBD, and CBD really fucks me up when I go to sleep.
Yeah, you got to watch that. So what was the nightmare about?
Oh, it's sad. I was in Iran. Sorry, I know this is a comedy podcast, but I was in Iran, and I was scared of getting arrested. And my cousins, nobody would talk to me. They were like, "You embarrassed us. You know, you were we're banishing you from the family." And I was like, "I risked my life to come back." I was like crying. I woke up like with my heart racing.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's
it's okay.
sad.
Thank you.
Because you're from Iran, which isn't probably a safe place to do comedy or go to right now.
Well, they do comedy there. I have a lot of stand-up comic friends. It's just very censored. And it's definitely not a safe time as an American citizen to go right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to open it up on that kind of note, but...
It's a thing that actually happened. It's like, it's probably stressful to think about with that, But yeah, like, I guess it's weird because we are spoiled here not knowing that it could be censored. It could be like, oh, you put a bikini picture on your Instagram and then that's like a very much a offensive thing there.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much, we definitely have a lot of freedoms here that we take for granted. Now, that means, it's great to have the right to protest and to, fight for what you believe in. And there can always be improvement. But, I'm definitely very, very grateful to have been born and raised here. So
yeah. And you've helped a lot, though, with the communities there and bringing awearness of people that are protesting against this crazy regime.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it was definitely, as far as Iran goes, that's pretty much all you can do. It's to post and to raise awareness because you can't send money because of sanctions.
Send money?
No, because of sanctions. And also, there's very highly probable that the government will steal it. For example, when there are big earthquakes or when there's a big national, like tragedy. Yeah, even there are groups that do. I mean, there's one group you can send money through. It's called Moms Against Poverty. They have, I think, some Americans on the ground there. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's very risky to send money to Iran and illegal in most cases. You can't boycott anything because there's not any really Iranian-owned stuff here. So yeah, it's really about posting on social media, keeping political prisoners in the news, and so that they are at less risk of execution or harm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and there are some things you can do, like as far as, the government, like sometimes there'll be a sanctions bill. And yeah, I mean, I don't think there's one currently right now. I'll have to look into it. But yeah, and there is a petition, End Gender Apartheid. I think if you just search End Gender Apartheid, there's a petition you can sign, which is for Iran and Afghanistan.
Oh, gotcha. Is that for women? Yeah. I mean, also, I think that they should look at things like the situation happening in China right now. It's like, oh, well, that's what happened when they had the one kid law. Now they don't have enough women to be able to have more babies. And now they're kind of fucking themselves.
Yeah. That's, wow. Yeah. China is something else. I mean, my dad's been there, but I mean,
I've been there, and it's just weird that there isn't a Google in China. You can't Google anything.
That's
There's
like Iran.
No Twitter. There's no I had to use a third party thing to transfer my email to be able to get email when I was in China. And the news, the news in the paper, it's not real. It doesn't it hides you from real things. So you couldn't actually see what was going on really in the rest of the world.
Oh yeah, they have state TV. Did you use a VPN to get?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I didn't use I rerouted it to go to a third party email that was accepted there.
Okay.
But I couldn't. Yeah, you can't access Google. You can't access any of the social media.
Yeah.
It is so crazy. And it makes me think I know they're thinking of banning TikTok in the US, and it's oh, is this kind of what they're, as a way to get back, or is it a
That's how it is in Iran, social media. Even though a lot of the political figures in Iran.
What about Reddit? Are they allowed to do Reddit?
I haven't seen I don't know. I never tried to go on Reddit in Iran, but definitely social media and all that. I mean, so we would use we would call it a filter chacun, like breaking the filter, called Open Door, and then we would just log in through there, like on Google, read CNN and Instagram.
I think when I went, I mean, like I was going for like a vacation, you know? And so I think I was like, oh, well, this is nice. I can just kind of relax.
Yeah. I accidentally went on Tinder in Iran, which is also banned, but again, through the filter breaker, everybody uses it.
What was Tinder in Iran like?
Oh my God. I was like, well, I wanted to actually delete it because I'm like, crap, like my family's honor. And, you know, I was getting super liked by a lot of guys like 80 miles away, but I'm like, and I was like in a tight red dress. I'm like, crap, I can't do this here.
No, because your picture's from Tinder.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I was like, no. Like, I don't even want to like hook up in America. I'm not trying to get involved in anything like that.
I know, man.
Yeah. I think they do have something like Tinder, but it's like a dating site. Like, I know people in Iran who have met and gotten married through dating sites.
Oh, is it still like arranged stuff? Like,
well, it's not arranged like that. Like, I think when people hear arranged, they think, oh, I'm going to trade you in for a few goats, when in reality, it's just the parents introducing you to each other. Or, you know, like one of my cousins, she met her husband through a family member that knew someone. But it's not like, okay, you're forced to get married now. They like went out.
It's more like, hey, like we want to encourage. It's like a parent trying to hook you up with like a family friend.
Kind of, yeah.
Except after you meet and you like each other, like, oh, let's get married in a month.
Yeah. I mean, I remember actually when I was in Iran, and my dad is from a little bit more of a conservative religious city, but I was out with my cousins at a coffee shop, and there was this couple. I think it was like their first date, and then their family members were sitting like another table down, and we were kind of being nosy, and we were just like listening, and then the guy was like, he like ordered a water bottle, and the girl was like, only one water bottle, huh? Oh. Like, calling him out on like the finances, but it was cute just watching them try to flirt and like sweat a little bit.
So random. Would you ever go on a dating show?
On a dating show? Mm-hmm. If it was like a Jubilee style, you know, like a YouTube kind of thing, like where it's a little more fun, I don't know if I would go on a dating show like Love is Blind or something like that.
Oh, by the way, I had never watched Love is Blind.
Yeah.
And I just watched, because I was like, you know, I don't know what we were talking about. I was like, you know what? I should just see what this is about, because it's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Like, also, what drives me nuts is how dressed up they are to not see the person.
Yeah.
And I get that they're, like, on camera and stuff, but, like, really, do you have to wear, like, 5-inch heels and a dress to just, like, chill in a room and not see the person?
Yeah. I don't know. See, I have a background in reality TV, so I've seen the other side.
Have you ever done a reality dating show at all?
No. I'm specialized a little more in docuseries, because docuseries, it's like the shows you see on Bravo or, like, Kardashians, and then you have your game shows, and you have your dating shows. Wait, I did work on a dating show. It was this one, I don't want to say the name. I don't know if it ever made it to air, but yeah, it was something else. I don't know.
So I also feel like after watching, like, I watched like the first episode of Love is Blind, like the first one ever, because I was like, I don't want spoilers for whatever else happens, but it's like, I think they always specifically pick somebody that is just crazy.
Yeah.
Right? They had to pick like at least a crazy person or two. And I wonder if the person even knows that they're the crazy one until it comes out.
I don't know. I think I saw an episode of Love is Blind. It just seems like a lot of pressure. You've got all the cameras on you. You've got all these people watching. It doesn't feel organic, you know?
No, and it's like, I mean, I guess the concept makes sense, but the idea that you just see the person for the first time, like after you propose to them, and then it's like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I never agreed with like Middle Eastern cultures doing that. I don't agree with it now. I don't like.
I think people are just so lonely and indecisive because of the dating apps, and they're just like, oh, we're gonna make you make a decision, and if not, you're gonna be alone or miss out on somebody because somebody else is gonna propose to them, and you're just gonna be shit out of luck. Yeah. So make a fucking choice.
I know. It seems that I don't think I could put myself through that. That seems like too much pressure. No,
it does, but I get it, because like some people are feeling like so lonely right now, and like everything like that. Like it's hard. Dating is not.
Oh, it is.
Easy, and LA is.
I've been off the dating apps for 7 months, and it has been the best 7 months of my life. But,
oh, really?
Yeah,
congrats.
Thanks, but I miss sex.
Are you able to meet people in person, or is that hard?
I would say I've always thought it was harder in person, just because when you see someone online, it's kind of like the good on paper thing. Like they have all the things you might be looking for. It's nice. You can like weed people out a little easier when it's organic. The hardest part about meeting someone organically is the game. And that's kind of what I did appreciate about dating apps, is because, okay, listen, we're either on here to date or to fuck. Like, you know, there's no like, does he like me? No, if you swiped right, you think I'm attractive. I think you're attractive. You know, let's go on a date.
Yeah.
But like organically, even though we're grown adults, it still feels like, okay, I play it coy. Do I text him back? Like, you know, it's just, I don't.
Yeah, I get so much anxiety. I used to get so much anxiety when texting somebody and like figuring out the right thing. And, you know, like honestly, I got with my partner during the pandemic, so it was a little bit different. It's just like, you know what, I'm low. You know, it's pandemic. I found somebody I like. I'm just going to spend time with them.
I would say my dating life kind of took off during the pandemic, because I was very like conservative, like, oh my God, maybe I'll let him kiss.
You were.
Yeah. I would like, so I would go on hiking dates for the first few dates with guys, because they also wanted to stay away from COVID. And so that was like how do I say?
The nice thing about the hiking date, though, is like if the date doesn't go well, at least you got to work at it.
Exactly. I don't like to waste time.
Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah.
But it's like if they can't keep up with you, it's like, are you going to be able to keep up with me in life and like all the things that are happening?
But I was like very conservative before the pandemic. Like I was a virgin, and I was like, oh, I don't know, I can't. And a lot of guys out here, you know, they want you to fuck on the first date. It's that crazy shit. And so, you know, the pandemic was perfect, because then I could be like, hey, want to go on a hiking date for the first few dates? And then it's like, if we really like each other, after like the third or fourth date, we would take a COVID test, and then we can hang out.
Oh, you had to do all these vetting.
Yeah, you know, so it was
it's like take a COVID test and an STD test before.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't forget those STD
and hopefully
tests.
not a pregnancy test.
Oh God. Okay, I had another nightmare a few nights ago that, again, stupid edibles. I had a nightmare I was pregnant, and I didn't know who the father was, and I kept trying to abort it. Sorry, Sarah's Christian conservative fan base.
Oh yeah. Sleeping with Sarah, they're gonna be Christian conservative. I don't think so.
I'm kidding. But and everyone kept denying me an abortion, because they're like, no, we don't believe in it. And I'm like, but I can't have this baby.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunately a very real reality for some women right now.
Yeah, that's very scary.
Yeah.
We're in California, but still, gotta vote. Please vote.
Please. Yes.
Unless you're a crazy conservative, then you can just stay home.
My body, my choice.
But yeah. Oh, so your nightmares are actually like more real things that could happen to you.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't like it, man. I'm thinking of like, what, do I have to quit weed? I love weed.
Well, maybe just adjust the dosage. I don't know.
Maybe I gotta go lighter on the CBD, which sucks, because those really help me fight the munchies. You're a stoner chick, so you know all this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, yes, Stone Sarah definitely likes to snack.
Oh yeah, but we've both seen each other violently high.
Yes. Although even violently high is me just like hanging around the apartment like making up songs, you know?
Yeah, for me it's like, I don't even know my name. My roommate will try to talk to me, and I'll be like, what? Or wait, remember we were at that beach party a few years ago?
Oh my gosh, yes.
And then I don't know what. Okay, and by the way, high dose for me is like 5 milligrams. Maybe.
Yes, you're still a lightweight after
for the
all.
most
Nice.
part. Yeah. If it goes above 7.5 milligrams, I start to get a little panicky.
I like the weed sodas. So like,
I love those.
Like having a root beer float that also has 10 milligrams of weed in it. It's amazing.
Oh my God, have you been to those weed lounges?
It's been a while. I've been to the one above the artistry. I want to go to the Woods. Woody Harrelson has this weed cannabis shop that also has a consumption line called the Woods in West Hollywood.
I've been to the Woods.
Yeah.
I love the Woods. Yeah. The Woods is great. I also want to go to Pleasure Med.
That's like the right next to the pleasure chest. Pleasure chest.
Yeah,
that makes sense. You know, sex toys and weed that kind of go hand in hand.
Oh yeah.
There is also weed lube, which is very fun.
I have not tried that. I want to get that.
It is really fun. If you like a good little like body high with an edible, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Then I think like you might like the weed lube. It takes like 10 to 15 minutes, so like make sure you do it to like kick in. You have to like put it on and then like wait a little bit for it to kick in.
That's amazing.
But when it kicks in, it kicks in.
Okay.
But you have to be careful because you don't want to put it on and then have someone go down on you, because then that can make their like more like they could lose feeling in like their tongue.
Oh, that's no fun.
But it is designed for women, specifically for So
I will say I've had some great sex on yuzu lemon Camino edibles.
yeah, Caminos are good. Like for me, it's like I like a lot of different. Basically, my body likes some weed. You know, my vagina loves weed. I love the weed lube. It's fucking great. You know.
I really want to try Huxley's sex edibles.
Yeah.
Huxley's is apparently a brand. I've never tried it before, but
I haven't tried that yet.
yeah, they're like new, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Swipe right.
But there's a lot of different. Yeah, there's a lot of different. It's nice to be in a place where weed is legal and we can just like. Do that.
I'm visiting my parents in Tennessee next weekend, and I'm devastated because I don't think weed is legal there. And also, like, just taking it to LAX, I mean, that's so scary.
Oh, no, weed is totally illegal in Kentucky and Florida, and I have taken it to both.
Are you admitting to a federal crime right now?
I am, but it's a statute of limitations. It's fine. Also, this is a comedy podcast. Everything's parody. You don't know if what I'm saying is true.
That is so true. Yeah. If I were to buy a bag of Sour Patch Kids and put in a couple edibles in it, who would know?
Well, no, what you do...
I would never do that.
What you do is you get a Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what I hear. I haven't done it.
Yeah.
You get a Ziploc bag, you put some gummies in it, but you put other vitamins, like pill vitamins in there, and then you put it inside of another container that has 2 tampons. And the tampons scare the security people, so they won't look.
Oh, really? And so...
Plus, the dogs are smelling for fentanyl and cocaine and like bombs.
They're not
smelling for weed.
I do know someone who actually got cocaine through at LAX.
That's not something to brag about. That's weird. What do they do? Do they like
I don't
put
know
it up somewhere?
I don't know. But I mean, hypothetically, if someone were to ever do that thing you were joking about, and they put it in the bin in the like X-ray.
No. So what I do is
you hypothetically would do.
Yeah, what I hypothetically. So you could do that with a carry-on or checked, and also just like putting it in a thing or in a Ziploc section, and you're like, oh my god, like weed pens look very similar to cigarette pens, you know. And it's like, oh whoops, like I live in a legal area, I didn't even see that it was there. That is a tiny zipper that I don't know about, that I forget that it's there.
Yeah,
you know, so it's like something that's very plausible if you did get caught.
Yeah,
hypothetically.
And I mean, worst case, you get a really cute mugshot out of it.
Yeah.
I need new headshots.
By the way, they do not care. That is kind of, they don't care about weed. It's like federally legal, but they just kind of like look away. You know, it's kind of, you know, let's legalize it. I think that would solve a lot of our political problems if everyone just smoked weed. Everyone would just take a step back, relax. Like they go out in nature and like go for a walk, feel the sunshine, and then maybe everyone would just chill the fuck out a little bit.
Yeah, it's safer than alcohol.
Yes.
I've almost...
Have you never... Like alcohol, so many people... Sorry, I didn't interrupt.
No, it's okay.
But so many people with alcohol, it's like they'll drink and then they'll get in a fight, you know? And... how many people do you know that like get super high and then they get in a fight?
Nobody. I don't know anybody. I just get hungry and horny and maybe tired after
I mean, the closest thing to a fight is maybe like getting high and playing Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah. Or like someone ate all your Doritos, because that would make me mad if I was high.
Yeah. But then you get easily distracted by something else.
Exactly.
And then you're like, okay.
Have you ever been to a concert high?
Yeah. That's so fun.
Oh my God.
Have you done mushrooms at all?
No, I haven't. I'm a little too anxious right now, but I'm sure one day I will try them.
So I went on a trip recently.
A trip?
Yes, I did. I wanted to go on a real trip, but like if I can't, I will go on a mushroom trip. And so this we decided to go to. We were walking around in West Hollywood, you know, on a Sunday. It was a beautiful sunny day, and I just took mushrooms. My partner did not, but he was like there to watch me. So like we're walking down the street. First thing I see, there is. I see a lady, and now I make friends with trees. First of all, I make friends with trees and plants. Like I just like make friends with them. And I'm walking in the street, and I see this woman hugging a tree. I'm like, oh, she must be on mushrooms too. But she wasn't. She was completely sober. She's like, this tree just has really good energy. So I walk up to this tree and I decide like I don't want to hug it because I felt like they had a relationship. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna like give it a pet, you know.
You don't want a third wheel, a woman in her tree.
Exactly.
Right.
But the problem is during this trip, we go to the farmer's market, I'm hanging out, I'm enjoying my trip, and as this is progressing, my partner finds out that he has to get something notarized. The next day's a holiday and there's no notaries available. He has to get something notarized for our friend like by a certain time. Otherwise our friend because he's a reference so our friend wouldn't get deported, And so this becomes a very real situation where now he has to make sure that I, who am tripping balls on mushrooms, we have to get home. And he's like, we have to be home in an hour. And I'm like, I don't know what an hour is. And so we had to walk home, me being so high on mushrooms. And then I see, as I'm walking by, I see the delivery robots. And I'm immediately like, I have to find the name of the robot because that will tell me whether the robot is evil or not.
Wow.
And so then I go up and based on the name, whether it was fun to say, was the determination. Thankfully, they weren't evil robots. But I got home. My computer's connected to the printer, which is really fun because at this point, it's a lot of pressure to get it to work. So I went over to the printer, petted the printer. I was like, please work for me. And couldn't see anything on the screen because the mountains were moving. And he was able to help me print, and we were able to print the thing. And then I felt like I solved the world.
That is amazing. No, I've never done mushrooms. I hear a microdose is kind of like taking edibles.
Yeah, microdose. I don't do microdoses. I like to have experiences. Obviously, that one was a little bit of an intense one.
Even your first time doing mushrooms?
The first time I did a bunch. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like I wanted. It's like a fine restaurant, right? I don't go all the time. I go maybe once a year, maybe twice. But when I go, I'm going to go all the fuck out. I'm going to go to a nice place. I'm going to spend a lot.
You weren't scared that you were going to have a panic attack?
I don't really have panic attacks. The first time I was with my friend Amanda, who's a great comic from Amanda Lindeal, great comic in Portland, Oregon. She used to be called like the Shroom Mama. She would like babysit people in their first times. And it was a summer evening and we were by this park, by this big lake. And she just babysat me the whole time. We both did it. But it was like, I felt so comfortable and safe around her that it felt good. I definitely recommend your first time being with someone super comfortable and maybe not being around a lot of other people because you pick up on energies. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the nice thing about mushrooms is you remember everything. It's not like alcohol. It's like you remember your whole experiences.
Yeah, alcohol. I wouldn't say I'm 100% sober, but I drink way less than I used to, like maybe once a month.
Good for you.
Honestly, I'm thinking of just like phasing it out of my life forever because I had this Persian New Year dinner and I had like 3 glasses of wine, which was fun in the moment, but then I was so like angry the next 2 days.
Alcohol, I don't know. It's not my favorite thing. Like, I drink once in a while, but like when I drink, I have like 1 or 2 drinks, except for this last weekend because I did do Purim. But so that was a holiday where I did drink. But I don't need to. I like having a little edible and being a little high. And,
I love that. I love going out on edibles. I love being on the dance floor on edibles.
But the thing is also like drunk Sarah is also very fun. That's a problem. Is when I'm on substances, I am like a fun time. Like it's very fun, but it can be problematic. Like drunk Sarah, like just does what she wants.
Gets into
when
fights.
She wants.
No, I'm just kidding.
Not into fights, but like nothing. Like if I feel a certain way, I'm gonna say it, and like I could totally instigate things, or if I like. If I want to make out with my partner in front of a bunch of other people, I will do that.
You could do that sober. Who cares?
I could do that sober, but like I'm usually more chill about it.
This drunk Sarah cries a lot.
I would cry with the certain mix if I mixed alcohol. That's where I get emotional. Yeah,
I get emotional. Pretty easily. But like, also given like not to bring it back, but like what's Iran, and then when the alcohol hits, if it's more than a glass or 2, I'm suddenly
thinking about that stuff.
Yep, and I'm like, where's my therapist?
Yeah, see for that. Yeah, why aren't there drunk on-call therapists? There should be like, hey, I'm a specialized therapist. It's only for when you're on the substance. I can help talk you down. We can get a positive thing out of it. I think that's
Okay, I have 2 friends that I actually do have for when I'm too high. Like I said, I don't drink much anymore, so I don't get drunk. Mm-hmm. I actually was, I would say I was pretty good at controlling myself when drinking. Even when I wanted to cry, I'd like hold it. And, I kind of knew where my limit was to stop. Except for the first few years. But
everyone goes through that phase. Like, I went through that in Chicago. And also, there are so many places now that are like very much like they have a lot of non-alcoholic cocktails. Mm-hmm. There's a place like a few blocks down from me that is like a whole like it's like a liquor store, but it's all a spirits for non-alcoholic.
Oh wow.
And so they like it's really interesting because they're trying to capture like the vibe and like the taste of certain liquors, so if people want to be sober they can still like enjoy like a good like old-fashioned or whatever.
Yeah,
which like I've sampled a few things and it's like, okay, this is interesting. I have a few friends that don't drink at all and it's like, oh, maybe that's good to like have that around the house if they're
there, I'm just really into what we were talking about earlier, the canned weed drinks.
Yes, those are so good.
But speaking of, just because I'm a stoner doesn't mean I'm immune to panic attacks. Every once in a while I will call up my best friend Nushin or my friend Monica Ciudi, who's a great comic, and I'll just be like, hey, I'm silly and I took too many milligrams of edibles. Am I gonna die? And they're like, nope, you're gonna be fine. Just stay on the phone with me. And I'm like, okay.
That's good. You gotta phone a friend for when you're too stoned.
Oh, I do. Actually, the worst thing was when I accidentally drank 2 lattes and then without thinking it took an edible. And that
so you had the caffeine and then the weed.
Yeah, it was. And my body is very sensitive to substances as is. It was really bad. Like, I was on the phone with my friend Tony Bartoloni for like 4 hours.
That's also a fun name to say. Like, if I was if just being high, be like, Tony Bartoloni. I would just call him and be like, I'm going to just say your name the whole time. Because when I'm high, I like to say fun words.
Really?
Yeah, like squishy. Like you think of like fun words,
One time I was high and I thought of combining the word stupid and idiot into stupidiot. Yeah. And I thought it was so funny and I thought it was the smartest thing ever.
I mean, that's the only thing. Is like, there's a looking back factor, but like I totally love like playing with words and language and like silly stuff,
This is really weird. So for me, how I know I'm high is that as soon as the edible hits, there will be one person saying one sentence in a completely different accent. So, for example, if I was with you, you would suddenly be speaking in a Chinese accent.
Oh, weird.
For one sentence. And my friend was like, that sounds like psychosis. But it's just one sentence, my body processes weed exactly the same way. Yeah. No matter what the edible is, even if it's pure CBD. Yeah. So it's like, very mechanical.
I was hoping that you'd say something I could do like British or like French, but I can't do Chinese.
It could be that.
Oh, so if I was doing a bit of British IP, you'd like saying, I like your Kirby socks. They look good.
Thank you. I got them from Hot Topic.
Kirby is my go-to character on Smash Brothers.
Oh my gosh, I love Kirby, and I love. Is that the guy who sings? No, that's Jigglypuff or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Jigglypuff sings somebody to sleep. Kirby just takes people's power and uses them against them, which I like.
So here's the one gratuitous foot shot. I get a lot of guys DMing me about my feet.
Yeah, what is with the feet things? It's like everyone, there's like a foot Wikipedia thing. What is it? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I had a guy DM me recently who was like, your feet are nice. Can I pay you $10 a week for them? I'm like, $10?
They're at least worth $300.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna do it, like
yeah, but it's definitely made me more mindful. If I'm at a beach, and we're taking pictures, the feet's gonna go in the sand. Yeah.
Huh. Whatever. He sounded polite about it. Whatever. I just hope that people think it's important, especially when it comes back to like the dating stuff, that people tell people your fetishes like a little bit early enough on. That way you don't find out like later. You're like, oh wait, we are super incompatible because that is something I will never do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would say
I'm very lucky. My partner right now, we're about on the same page with like all that, which is good. It's just like good. Happens to be like once in a while we're like, yeah, you want to try that thing again? Yeah, I'll try it. We feel the same. We're like, okay, that's about the same.
I love that. Yeah. I mean,
because it's good to retry. If it's something that you didn't like, but with a fetish, if it's something you didn't like 10 years ago, you might have changed as a person.
My issue is for some reason I keep ending up with sexually conservative guys, and I don't know why that is.
That's do they have like the Catholic like a guilt thing, like a?
No, it's just like. Well, there were a lot of different issues. I mean, one of them, he had trauma since he was a kid, and then another one, he wasn't sexually conservative, but he was a porn addict, so he could never get hard. I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I had some issues there. And the thing is, you got to realize that it takes a while. Like when I was in my like right out of college, like early 20s, I was dating people and I would always like be so worried that it was like something to do with me, and I had to realize that no, it's like their own shit. It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think when you're younger and you haven't had a lot of sexual partners yet, it's kind of like you take some of those things a little bit more personally.
Oh, totally. Because he tried to actually blame me. He was like, well, I'm just not attracted to you. I'm like, okay, that's why you were with me for 3 months?
Yeah. Like, yeah, that's just the thing. Like, then they get insecure about their own things. So it is what it is. Yeah. But yeah, so when did you decide you went off the dating apps completely?
I would say.
You said like 7 months or, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was either right before or right after my birthday in August. I think I just didn't really have. At first, I was like, okay, maybe I need to work on myself, boost the confidence, which I have. I mean, I'd been going to Barry's boot camp a lot.
Yeah,
I lost almost
you look
20
great.
Thanks.
By the way, I cannot do berries. Oh my God, I hate running. My body is just like, fuck you, I don't want to run. We're not doing it. I don't know how people do the thing where they run, but even more, I don't understand how people run without music. Like if I see people on the street and they don't have headphones in, I'm like,
that's
you're a
not
psychopath.
Happen. That is not going to happen.
That is,
and I hate running outside. I can really only do it at Barry's if someone's yelling at me different numbers and stuff.
I can only run if I'm like running away from somebody.
Yeah.
Like if I had to like run away from something, that's where I'll do it. You know?
I used to hate it. I will say though that I don't want to be like, oh, you get used to it. I do enjoy it, and also it took away my joint pain and my back pain, and so I mean, I guess the mindset was, okay, this is what you need to do. Not that everybody needs to do it. I've done ClassPass, I've done Boonda, and like a lot of different. This just helped me lose the most weight so far, and so it was something I needed to do to get rid of the pain. And
do you feel like it's a little cult-like?
Yeah, but I love it.
Exactly. That's the thing. So many things are like cult-like.
Yeah.
Cult adjacent. Yeah. And I feel like gyms are a little bit that.
Oh, yeah.
Improv is definitely that.
These instructors are my God. They are so hot. Yeah. No.
But also the fact that they're like, it's music playing and they're constantly saying, you can do this. I know this is the week. You're going to get through this week. You're going to accomplish a lot. I can totally see like the addiction. But the thing about having class passes, you go to a bunch of different gyms. So you see they all like have this like motivational, affirmational thing. Yeah. So it's making you feel good while you're sweating. You're associating that feeling. Totally. And then on top of that, the endorphins.
Totally. And also just you look good, Yeah. And it's like it makes you want to keep going, and it makes you want to adjust your diet. And so that was a big reason. I mean, and also I just don't have energy to like the whole texting and the typing. And
you're I'm busy writing jokes. I'm busy like judging roast battle and shit.
Seriously,
that's what you're doing.
and it's like I could, who knows? If I meet someone organically, that'd be great. But I want to go out and do me, and maybe someone will come along. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the best, know? Because just being out and doing stuff. But yeah, it's, so do you, because you worked on reality, did you watch it at all or no?
Yeah. I love Vanderpump Rules. I love,
I had Billy Lee on the podcast.
Oh, I love Billy. Yeah. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely one of the best reality TV shows of our time.
Oh, really?
I would love to work on it someday. What else do I like? I do like to watch the Kardashians.
Yeah.
Mainly because I'm a pop punk fan and Courtney is married to Travis, and I just love them. That's what I want. I want that, or like an MGK Megan Fox kind of relationship where we like.
I think they broke up.
No, they're back together.
Oh, they are. Okay.
I mean, they're on and off.
Yeah.
So Courtney and Travis is more what I want.
You don't want the on and off.
No, I want the solid. I don't know if they drink each other's blood, but like they're obsessed and I love it.
They drink each other's blood?
Well, MGK and Megan Fox do. Just a few drops. Just a few drops.
Like what is that gonna do?
It's gonna like bond you. I don't know. I don't know what they do. I don't know what it is.
I mean, like, honestly, like, do your thing, do whatever, but, like, why share that with people? Like, if that's their private thing to do, keep it private. Like, I don't know if they're like, hey, we know what real love is, and it's only real love if you share blood. Like, that's just the weirdest thing.
But, Megan actually said on a Call Her Daddy podcast, she's like, I think it's weird when you let guys come in your mouth and you don't know who they are. And it's like, I mean... I don't know.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, for me, I always would do the thing where it's like, go down on them before doing other things. Because, like, I'm not just going to please you. You have to please me first.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's the
So they would go down on you first.
Mm-hmm. I would either have that or have just be a, foreplay into sex.
Oh.
Because it's like, I'll give you a little bit of this, but like, I want the other stuff. Like,
absolutely. Mm-hmm. Equality. That's true equality right
there.
No,
actually, not equality, because I always come more than the guys.
Ooh.
That's the rule.
You must have a really strong core. That's actually, that's one of the best reasons. That's just what I love about Barry's, because they do a lot of abs and core stuff. And
makes your sex... See, why don't gyms advertise that? Hey, this is a gym specifically to make your sex life fucking better.
Yeah, let me tell you. I mean...
We're gonna be doing squats, but while we're doing it, we're doing Kegels too.
Yeah, I mean...
Sexercise. That should be a thing.
Yeah,
Sexercise.
I haven't really banged anybody since I've really started Barry's, but I will say the self-pleasure is out of this world.
Hey, you know what? That's all. As long as you're like enjoying yourself and like thriving, that's what matters.
Like the sole reason I keep going. Yeah.
Hey, that works. But yeah, and I forget, how long have you been out here now?
8.5 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that's a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it here. I've always felt like an Angelino. I never felt like I belonged in Ohio. I always felt like
That's how I felt about Kentucky.
Yeah. You were in Chicago for a bit though, right?
Yeah, so I did Louisville, Kentucky, and then school outside Chicago, and then
nice.
But yeah, so yeah, I always wanted like big city. I never lived in New York and kind of always thought I'd go to New York at some point. So I might still go there at some point. Or
I'd love to do comedy for like a week in New York. I don't think I could do the winters there.
I think I'm a little spoiled by the winters, but if it's the right opportunity, like if I'm filming something, I got...
Well, a disclaimer, if I'm filming something in frickin' Saudi Arabia, I'll go there,
Yeah.
Like-
yeah. Do you want to do like more acting stuff too?
Oh,
or-
yeah.
Okay.
I love acting. I was very blessed to book my first 2 commercials last year.
Yay!
Thank you. One of them's out. The other one we're still waiting on. But
What's the one that's out?
it's for Gooder sunglasses.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice. Is that like what, prescription sunglasses?
Yeah. Prescription sunglasses. Yeah, and so it's pinned to the top of my profile. I finally got to wear a doctor's lab coat, so my parents were proud of me. I was just acting.
The first time they're like, oh, there, that's what she would look like if she were a doctor.
Yeah. Just fantasize that I am a doctor for a few minutes.
Have your parents seen you do stand-up yet?
They have. And I mean, my mom always supported from the beginning. My dad in the beginning was kind of like, this isn't really something. I mean, I don't, if you like it as a hobby, whatever, but it's also, I don't like that you swear. I mean, if for many years, he refused to come to a show, and then he finally did come. And I mean, I was respectful. I cleaned it up, not
because you are pretty dirty.
Oh, I am very much so.
And I like how you've leaned more into the roast battle side of you in your regular stand-up too, because I think that fits with you so well.
Oh yeah. And
I've it's been really cool to see you grow in that way too.
Thank you.
Because you've been doing roast battle quite a bit.
Oh yeah, I love roast battle. That's my home. I mean, it helped me become a better comic. But yeah, he loved it and he's supportive of it. And yeah, it's sometimes you just gotta experience it.
Yeah. So in terms of that, but you also want to do, you said commercials, you got
acting. I mean, I think it's the dream to have your own show, right?
Yeah, it is, but no one's buying anything right now, but
yeah. I know. No, but just sketches online. I like doing that stuff. And yeah.
Good.
What about you? You act too.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm trying to do a little bit. I'm doing something for Hollywood Fringe in June where I'm doing it's like a rotating role for one of these plays. So it's
exciting.
So I'm doing a narrator role for a weekend at one of them. And then, I mean, technically my hour-long solo show is kind of more a mix of acting and storytelling and stand-up.
Yeah, it was great. I saw it.
So that was that. So I'm working on writing the second one right now. And that is also acting, which is weird because it incorporates a lot of the stand-up, but sometimes stand-up, sometimes it just fits better in that way, you know? And it's really fun to find that vibe. Yeah. So it's but I would love to do more on camera, TV stuff. I'd love to be on a show. That would be amazing.
Totally.
But they also need to buy more comedies.
Yeah.
Because there aren't that many comedies out right now.
Yeah.
And there were some really good comedies. Reboot was great and that didn't get renewed. And there's a bunch of other stuff like that.
I just finished binging Big Mouth. I love adult comedies, adult animation.
Oh, have you seen the Harley Quinn animated series?
I have.
That's hilarious.
It's great.
I think that's great. Big Mouth, Human Resources. There are some really great comedies. I think a lot of them are animated and I'm like, where's the live action ones?
Yeah.
I saw Ricky Skanicki, which was a good it's a movie.
What's that on?
Actually, Jeff Ross has a little cameo, and Andrew Santino's on it, and it's on Amazon. It's about a guy, and John Cena. It's about a guy who, it's a group of friends, a group of 3 or 4 friends. 3 friends and their whole life, they've kind of had a scapegoat friend that's a crazy person, but didn't exist.
Okay.
And so then there's a whole situation that happens where they make it up that this guy is coming and they hire an actor to be this guy finally.
Oh, that's so
cool. And he ends up being it's a really good role for John Cena because he does a lot of impressions and other things like that. I was oh, he got someone to write this role for him to be I want to show my range.
Yeah.
But it was, it was a really enjoyable comedy. I liked it.
I like it. I will check it out.
Yeah. It's there aren't as many comedies and they rarely given the thing where it's a release in the theater too.
Yeah. I mean, comedy movies, for me, it's rare to enjoy a funny movie. Like, I would say the last movie I enjoyed was Old Dads with Bill Burr.
Oh, yeah?
But in general, I don't know. They all seem, I mean, comedy movies, a lot of them I feel like are very cringe. I like a good TV show more.
Some of them can be, but did you see Lisa Frankenstein yet?
No.
The same writer as Jennifer's Body. And that's
my
really
favorite
fun.
movie.
And it's directed by Robin Williams' daughter. It's her first feature.
That's cool.
So it's like because it's set in the 80s, so these are 80s comps, but it's like a Heathers meets like a Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, wow.
And it's like really fun. It's like a horror kind of comedy, but it was really fun. I think you would like that.
Yeah, where
I don't know where it is. I saw it in the theater, but I think it's like on a streamer by now.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, that's because I know you love Jennifer's Body.
I do. I love Megan Fox. So
I think comedy horror is like super fun genre.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I know you're not as into horror, right?
No, but I love like the movie It. I love comedy horror.
Yeah. Like Renfield or Blackening or Shaun of the Dead. Like these are all like fun.
That's cool. Yeah.
But
can't take it too seriously.
yeah, exactly. Because then it gets a little, Definitely don't take edibles after you see a horror movie, right?
Well, before.
Oh, you take before?
No, you said definitely don't do it after, but like, wouldn't you not want to do it before?
Yeah. I was just saying, don't take it before or after.
Oh,
because you probably get nightmares.
That is true. Yeah. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah.
But you said you're going out of town soon?
I am. I'm going to Memphis, and then on April 7th, I'm doing Austin. I'm doing Roast Battle at the Mothership.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So Austin. Yeah, I haven't been to Austin for comedy. How's that?
It's great. I like it. The crowds are great. Yeah, it's a fun city.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been there. I need to start like exploring more cities.
You should. I think you would like it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Atlanta. So that'll be fun. My brother moved outside of there in the suburb, and so I'm like, oh, I'll go check that out.
Are you going to do comedy there?
I think
That's
so.
exciting.
Yeah. So I'm going to start doing reach outs, I think, like next week. So
that's cool.
But yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah,
like I
sure.
love traveling and doing comedy, and it's just like nice to get out of LA.
Yeah, I want to do that a little bit more. I've only it's really weird, like the cities outside of LA that I've done comedy. I've only done it in San Diego, Austin, and London, England.
Yeah, you
and
did
Belize City.
I love that you did London. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was last year. That was fun.
London is really great. London was fun, and Scotland was great too. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I haven't been to Scotland. I would love to go.
Yeah, I think they do a roast battle in the Edinburgh Fringe every year.
Oh, yeah. I definitely want to look into that. I mean, it was cool. I got to do roast battle in London.
Yeah.
With I think London's champion Lee
At the
Hudson.
Bill Murray.
Yeah, I love the Bill Murray.
I went to the Bill Murray. By the way, it's no affiliation with Bill Murray. I think before Bill Murray was like famous, it was like an old it was called the Bill Murray after a different guy named Bill Murray, but then closed, and then somebody else bought it again, and then they just started incorporating more comedy in there, which is fun.
Yeah, the Brits just do it differently.
It also seems like a place, because he randomly pops up places, it seems like a place he would randomly pop up and just show up once in a while.
I mean, that would be really tragic if he didn't. Can you imagine a whole club has your exact name?
I mean, yeah, that's the thing, is if there was a Sarah Fatemi club,
you'd be there every night.
You'd show up, right? You'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
But you can't show up too often, otherwise it's
it's overkill.
We are starting to wind down the podcast a little bit. So I always ask you, what are your goals for the future? Dreams for the future? Dreams
for the future. Well, I would love to, book an acting role, be on a TV show. I would love to tour stand-up comedy, internationally. I want to do it in the Middle East, in Asia, in Europe.
Could you do it in English, or could you do it in...
I did it in Farsi for a talk show that I was on, but that was very, it has to be pretty clean. Mm-hmm. And you have to stay away from politics, especially when you have family that's still there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was an okay. The talk show itself was amazing. It was lit, but the stand-up portion, it was okay. I got a lot of hate for it online.
But controversy.
Yeah.
Like with Roast Battle, too, I feel like controversy is part of the game.
It is, yeah. But I could, maybe in Farsi. I mean, if Iran becomes free, I'd love to do it in Farsi there. Yeah. But, English, I would say for the most part. Okay. But it's great. And I want to fall in love. I want to have that Courtney and Travis relationship.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So maybe musician?
Maybe. I have never dated a musician.
Oh, I dated one for 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
In college. So, I mean, quasi musician back then, but you know.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I had a crush on this musician a while back, and my mom's like, "But they're into drugs," and I'm like, "Have you met comics?" Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the nice thing is music and comedy kind of happen at the same time, so it's like you both have like out doing gigs.
Oh,
like,
I love that.
I think like the timing would probably be pretty good.
Yeah, I just need somebody who gets it. You know,
I mean, it's like work, and you got to be out late.
Yeah, totally. And also, one thing about dating apps that I have to say that really do tire me out is when all a guy wants to talk about is comedy. And it's like, it's cool to be interested. Sorry, I sound like a major asshole right now.
No, you don't. Yeah, it's your opinion.
But like, you know, it's always the same three questions. Who's your favorite comic? What got you into comedy?
And tell me a joke. And you're like, I don't want to fucking work right now, bro.
For free. Yeah. No. Yeah.
And that's the only thing is like, it's nice, but it's a whole thing.
It's like, your job. You don't constantly want to be asked about accounting, you know? Like, it's cool to talk about it, but, you know, I mean, at some point it's like, okay. I mean, I actually did have a guy back in the day during the pandemic who, you know, I was kind of like bugging him to meet up, and he kept like making the like COVID, you know, which great. But after a while I was like, you know, we could both just take a test at this point. Like, we know each other well enough. And he's like, you know, I don't really see us dating. And I'm like, so then why did you keep talking to me? And he's like, well, I've been thinking of getting into stand up, and I just kind of wanted to
use you for information.
Basically, I want to like, you know, it's like, nah, man, we're not doing that.
And it's also like, come on, if you're that shy about doing, just go to a fucking mic and do it.
Seriously.
What made you do stand-up for the first time?
It was a bucket list thing. I initially moved out here for grad school to be an actress and a writer, and then I had a classmate hosting an open mic, and I'd seen him do spots at the Comedy Store and Shaky Town Live, which I think is now the Haha. He doesn't do stand-up anymore. But I tried it, and then the manager happened to be there at this little, like, this place called Danny's Venice, and he was like, "You're great. I want to see you back." And I was like, okay. And I started going to, like, club open mics, and the feedback was great, and I just decided to really push myself into it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you continue? You continued grad school though?
I did. I finished. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Very educated.
Thank you.
But yeah, that's awesome that you were able to do that throughout that, and still keep it up.
Yeah.
And, that's great. But yeah.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's definitely a great community. I love stand up. So
yeah, it's great. And yeah, you found kind of a home and stand up within the roast battle community.
Oh yeah, love roast battle.
Who was your first roast against?
Alex Getlin,
who's
your friend from Chicago.
Yeah. Actually, no, I he's not from Chicago, but I met him. He came out of Boston, but I met him through a mutual friend that I knew from Boston from doing a festival in Ohio.
Oh wow.
In Cleveland, because like through like Sam Ike or Luke starts with a T.
Tomatia.
But anyways, yeah, through a different friend from Boston, but he's married to a friend that I also know through a friend from Chicago. She lived in Chicago.
Wow.
So it's like all completely random. But yeah, you battled against Alex the first time.
I did. Alex is a great guy.
That's so great. Yeah. I think battles are very fun.
They're so fun. They really taught me to be a better writer, a better performer, you know, and yeah.
How many battles? What's your record now? How many battles?
Gosh, I don't even know. I think it's like...
Because you won something big, right, recently?
Well, I won the championship belt of Los Angeles this summer, and then Ryan Neeson took it from me. But, you know, I still do it. You know, I judge mostly now at the Comedy Store, but like I did the California Cup, I'm doing Rogan's Club, and then, I judge now mostly, but I already said that, sorry.
No, that's fine. That's exciting.
But I think I've done like 35 battles or something. I think it's like 2015 or something.
That's great.
Thanks,
that's really great that you found like an area that you like love doing.
I do love doing it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. It's the best. Yeah.
Awesome. And what's great is like if anybody gives you any shit, it's easy for you to like go into.
Yes. Okay. So, you know, people used to comment bullshit under my Instagram a lot, and it used to kind of hurt my feelings, and I used to be like, oh, you know, I'll just ignore it, whatever, rise above. But now that I roast them back, it's really weird. I'll have, like, people comment rude things, and then I'll say something rude back, and then they'll like my comment and follow me.
Oh, that's so great, though. You're turning a hater into, like, someone that's actually following you.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I was like, there was this guy, he commented under one of my roast battles or something, and he was like, this was painful to watch. And I was like, not as painful as it was to fit into those pants.
Oh, Oh, that's great.
And then he was like, now you got jokes. And he liked me and followed me. I was like,
hell yeah. Good for you.
Yeah.
I love that strategy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they respect you more, I guess.
Yeah. It's like, maybe that's all they really want. It's a fetish. They want to be, they want to be humiliated publicly. And you're doing that.
Okay. I did actually match with someone like that on a dating app years ago too. And he was like, I want you, he literally, he would be like, I want you to be mean to me. And I was like, I didn't know anything at the time. I was like, your teeth are yellow. Your tummy is, I like called him fat. And then my old roommate at the time was like, Sarah, you can't say that. I was like, wait, so I can say all these degrading, evil things about him, but fat is where you draw the line? Like, she was like, she's like, tell him to give you $40. I was like, give me $40. It was like a comedy sketch, like the way.
That's crazy. Yeah. We are really coming over time, but thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
And let people know where they can follow you.
Yeah, Instagram at Sarah Fatemi Official, TikTok at Sarah Fatemi, Twitter at SARAKIJOON. I did it wrong. And YouTube as well. So yeah.
Yeah. And thanks for being on the podcast. We always end by saying goodnight. So good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thanks for listening to Sleeping with Sarah, where I slept with Sarah Fatemi. Be sure to follow Sarah at Sarah Fatemi Official. That's Sarah with an H at the end, Fatemi Official on Instagram and TikTok. You can also catch her this Friday at Serendipity Cafe Bar at 6 p.m. That's the 31st. And on June 1st on Saturday at Comedy in English at 8:30 p.m. in Santa Monica. If you like the podcast, please follow Sleeping with Sarah on YouTube and TikTok and Sleeping with Sarah Pod on Instagram. Big shout out to my team, especially Alex Garcia and Patrick Sugar, and thanks to Josh Bryant for the music. I'll be releasing a podcast every other week, so tune in to find out who I have in bed with me next. Until next time, good night.